Hello and welcome to another WCBN Sports broadcast of Michigan men's basketball. Today we are live from Chrysler Arena for a Big Ten basketball matchup. The Michigan Wolverines will take on the Penn State Nittany Lions. I'm Matthew Cox, and alongside me today is guest commentator Stein Hausner. Now, the Wolverines come in 1-0 in Big Ten play after they knocked off Illinois on the road 78-64, while the Nittany Lions come in after a tough loss at Maryland 70-64. Stein, what are you expecting to see out of the Wolverines for them to get a win here today?
Well, as I was watching the Wolverines warm up today, unfortunately, I saw number 23, big man on campus, Karis LeVert, not warming up. And it is apparent that he has a lower left leg injury, so he will be sitting out all today's game. And he leads Michigan in points, rebounds, and assists. So that is huge for Michigan that he is not playing today. So with that said, somebody has to step up and make more points. Whether that's from guard like that, Malou Rockman is starting today in place of Karis LeVert. So maybe he's going to step up to the plate. Maybe Duncan Robinson's going to make make a little more threes than he usually does, or maybe it's going to be a big man down low, as we saw against Illinois. Mark Donnell, he put up 26 points against the Illini, and that helped with Karis LeVert's 10 assists. So somebody also has to step up and feed the big man down low. And whether Mark Donnell did that well against Illinois because Illinois didn't have a big man, or whether they weren't playing good D, for the Wolverines game to some kind of big man need and be in the paint and make some points.
Yeah, Stein, you mentioned the big men. Donnell obviously had a great game against Illinois, and looking at the Penn State roster, they don't have too many big men in their starting lineup. They have a couple guys coming off the bench who get over 6'10", but really not too many big men. What do the Nittany Lions have to do to get their first Big Ten win?
Well, they have to come out here early. They lost I'd say a poor last 5 minutes against Maryland a couple days ago. Maryland only shot, I remember hearing that they were 2 for 17 from three-point land. I'd say about 35 minutes into the basketball game, and then they came out and Melo Trimble hit a couple to put them up a little bit. But with that said, Penn State only went 5 for 19, which is 26% from three-point. So if they want to stay ahead, they got to make their shots, and maybe as in Michigan's case also feed the big man down low, because we all know like Michigan isn't the strongest in the paint, so maybe they can take advantage of our switching between Mark Donnell and Ricky Doyle. Who knows? I think we'll find out in a couple minutes.
All right, and the two teams are taking the court. For the Nittany Lions, number 0, Peyton Banks, number 10, Brandon Taylor, number 23, Josh Reeves, number 32, Jordan Dickerson, and number 33, Shep Garner. For the Wolverines, number 10, Derek Walton, number 12, Marr, number 21, Zach Irvin, number 22, Duncan Robinson, and number 34, Mark Donnell. We go live to the middle as Mark Donnell matches up against Josh Reeves for the tip. Up and away, Michigan controls. Derek Walton takes the ball at midcourt. Dribbling up the right side with his right hand, dumps it to Duncan Robinson on the right side outside the three-point line. He holds it to Mark Donnell at the top. Across to Zach Irvin. Zach Irvin has the ball going to the top of the key. Switches it back to Duncan and fakes a three. Goes up for a real one. Puts it up. No good. Rebound by Reeves.
Cannot believe you missed that. Duncan usually hits those.
Reeves brings it up the court. Goes hard in the lane. Puts it up. No good. Ball goes out of bounds. Michigan basketball.
We'll take that.
Marr will inbound it to Derek Walton. Derek Walton dribbles up midcourt. Marr has it on the left side, looks, gives it to Zach Irvin in the corner. Zach Irvin just outside the three-point line working on his man. Mark Donnell sets a screen. Zach Irvin puts up a two-pointer, miss, no good. Foul down low on Mark Donnell, reaching over Dickerson.
Michigan foul, number 34, Mark Donnell.
And checking in right away, Ricky Doyle comes in for Mark Donnell right after that quick foul. John Beilein doesn't even talk to him on the bench there. Penn State will take it away. Shep Garner brings it up the court. Met by Walton at midcourt. Man-to-man defense for the Wolverines. Garner still holds it. Finds Banks on the left side. Banks gives it back. Plays it down low to Taylor. Taylor puts up a bank shot and good down low, working on Ricky Doyle. Walton brings it up the court for the Wolverines, moving to the right side, hands it to Duncan Robinson. It's met by a defender. Marr has it now at the top of the key. Goes left with it, screened by Ricky Doyle. Gets stuck in the corner on the left side. Double teamed in the corner, can't find anyone. And the ball is tipped out of bounds by the Nittany Lions. Michigan will retain possession with 11 on the shot clock. Zach Irvin will inbound the ball for the Wolverines. He finds Derek Walton cutting to the top, and he's out by the block gem. Screened by Ricky Doyle, 7 on the shot clock, into the lane, tries to kick it, but it's stolen. Taylor has it on the break for the Nittany Lions. Goes up by himself over Duncan Robinson, missed a layup, and slammed home by Reeves.
Yeah, it was a big-time dunk by Reeves.
Derek Walton now brings it up for the Wolverines. 4-0 Nittany Lions, 18-23 in the first half. Duncan Robinson on the left side to Irvin, to Walton now. On the opposite side, outside the three-point line, screened by Ricky Doyle, looks for the roll, puts up a shot, and it is blocked by Reeves. And now Banks is going the other way, though it is tipped away by Marr on the fast break, and it actually will be, Penn State ball down low.
Yeah, it was a good D by Marr to stop the fast break.
It looks like Reeves will inbound it for the Nittany Lions down low. Duncan Robinson on him on the baseline. Trying to throw it in, and Dickerson will retain possession. Gives it off to Reeves, who's outside the three-point line. Now Taylor at the top. To Banks on the right side, still outside the three-point line. Across to Garner. Garner to Taylor. Taylor looking for someone down low. He finds Dickerson. Doyle's on his back. Dickerson on the left side, working on Doyle. Puts up a layup, no good. And a foul called on Dickerson. Ricky Doyle matches him up very well there.
That was a good D by Ricky Doyle, keeping the big man out of the post. Now it's our ball.
Marr with the ball, inbounds it to Derek Walton. Zach Irvin on the left side, just outside the three-point line. Gives it to Ricky Doyle at the top, who swings it over to Duncan Robinson. Back to Zach Irvin at the top, just outside the three-point line, working for a screen by Doyle. Switches it to Derek Walton from 3, and it is tipped. Nittany Lions will take over the ball. Reeves brings it up for the Nittany Lions. 17:25 left in the first half. 4-0 to Penn State. Taylor has the ball outside the three-point line. Zach Irvin on him. Looking for a man. Finds Dickerson. Nope, that's Garner from outside, and he hits a 3. 7-0 Nittany Lions. Derek Walton will bring it up for the Wolverines. Duncan Robinson has it on the right side. Swings it to Zach Irvin on the left. Trying to find Robinson again. Robinson straight away, fakes the 3, gets the pick from Doyle. Still working on his man on the right side now, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Derek Walton in the corner, swings it back to Robinson, who fakes a 3 and drives. Kicks it out to Marr for 3. Good!
Let's go. Got some points on the board, baby.
3 for Michigan, 7 for Penn State, as Garner brings it up for the Nittany Lions. Penn State with the ball on the right side. Dickerson has it, working on Doyle. Back to Garner. Garner take a screen by Dickerson, puts up a shot, and it is tipped by Robinson. Walton will collect. They're going fast on the break. Finds Robinson, fakes a 3, makes some room, puts it up. Good!
Oh, baby, woo!
Penn State with the ball now. 6 for the Wolverines, 7 for the Nittany Lions. 16:07 remaining in the first half. Garner brings it up, goes to the left side. Finds Reeves on the left, tries to work it down low to Taylor. Zach Irvin on him. He's working on it. Zach Irvin still puts up a right-hand hook. Trickles out. Derek Walton on the rebound. Walton with a hop step at the top, gets it back, drives in the lane, tries to kick it out to Robinson. It's picked off, though, by Reeves. He's in a foot race. Duncan Robinson wins it, though, wins the ball back for the Wolverines. Only 15 on the shot clock, though. 15:38 left in the half. Derek Walton takes it up. He's at the block M. Working on his man Reeves. Gets some lane, drives on the right side, and his layup is blocked down low by Dickerson, and Taylor is on the run for the Nittany Lions. He takes it by himself, puts up a layup, and a foul called on Zach Irvin on the break.
That was the 3rd time in the past 4.5 minutes that Derek Walton has been blocked. First two were on jump shots, that one was on a layup. So Derek Walton needs to either find a different way to shoot or pass it to somebody else.
Yeah, like you mentioned last game, that was Karis LeVert often driving into the lane. Of course, Derek Walton we know is the point guard, but Karis LeVert, when he grabs those rebounds, he likes to go and attack the basket. Without Karis LeVert, that dominance in the lane, not by the big men, but by the guards who drive, is not there. So far, you're right, Stein. Derek Walton struggling to get in the lane and put up a good shot. Dickerson had his number there, swatting it away and giving Penn State the break. So they're up 7-6 with 15:23 as we're at our first media timeout. Stein, what does John Beilein need to tell his team to adjust and get back on track and take the lead here?
What I'm thinking is to just keep his system of offense going, because that's what worked for us last game against Illinois. We had a slow start. Luckily, we had Karis LeVert to keep us in the game. But when things couldn't go well for Karis LeVert when he's driving in, he dumped it off to the big man, Mark Donnell or Ricky Doyle. And that reminds me of like the good old days with Trey Burke and Jordan Morgan. So I think what the main thing he needs to tell him is when it's not there, either get some pick and rolls in there, and then the guard can feed it to the big man. And that's what worked for us last game.
Yeah, and you have to notice, though, that Penn State is coming out strong. Now, they don't necessarily have two big men, but Taylor, 6'6", down low, has been working on Zach Irvin in the post successfully. He only has 2 points. He's put up 3 shots, but it looks like he's out matching Irvin down low.
I agree.
And you might see them go to that more often. Now, in the rebounding battle, Penn State leads it 6-3.
Yeah. Well, the rebounding, Penn State, obviously, Jordan Dixon does look like more of a center. He's 7'1", big man, and that definitely he's a lot taller than our big men, Mark Donnell or Ricky Doyle. So maybe box out a little more. Maybe that's what John Beilein's telling him. But get some rebounds, get some penetration, and when the big centers or 6'6" Brandon Taylor, 7'1" Jordan Dixon are down low, pop it out for a 3, and we can knock down the 3-pointers.
Yeah, and actually, now that you mentioned that, Dickerson is actually checked out for the Nittany Lions, and Julian Moore, 6'10" sophomore, is stepping in his place. So Brandon Taylor goes to the line after the foul on Zach Irvin. He puts up his first shot, and it is good. 6-8 as the Nittany Lions lead the Wolverines, 15:23 here in the first half. Taylor receives the ball to take his second shot. Puts it up, and it is good as well, 6-9. Marr will inbound it to Derek Walton, met by a little token pressure. And the Wolverines beat the little half-court press, find Ricky Doyle down low after stringing a couple passes together. Duncan Robinson has it on the left, gives it to Zach Irvin, outside to Walton. Marr now on the right side. The Wolverines swing it around the three-point line. Robinson holds it on the right side, gives it back to Walton on the left. 10 on the shot clock. Walton working on his man. Tries to drive inside, but he can't, and loses the handle on the ball. The ball is picked up by Devin Foster, who is checked in for the Nittany Lions. He now takes it up the court for the Nittany Lions. 14:50 remaining in the first half. Defended by Walton. Moves in the left lane and drives. Can't finish at the rim. Ball bounces around, and it's Moore with the rebound, and he is fouled going up for it. So he'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Nittany Lions. Stein, the two guys who just checked in, Foster and Moore, working together there and getting a foul drawn on Ricky Doyle.
Yeah, I was watching that, and Derek Walton just flat out got beat by the guy driving down the left side lane, and then Ricky Doyle couldn't box out down low, which gave Penn State the rebound, and then Ricky Doyle fouled him.
Moore hits the first free throw, and checking in for the Wolverines is Andrew Dockich, replacing Derek Walton Jr. Beilein probably wants to talk to Walton as he's had a couple turnovers here early on.
Definitely.
Moore puts up the second foul shot, and it is good. So it is 11-6 to the Nittany Lions early on in the first half. Marr brings it up. A little pressure still from the Nittany Lions. The Wolverines break the little press. Duncan Robinson puts up a quick 3 and hits it. The Wolverines beat the press really easy. It wasn't too energetic from Penn State, and then they get caught on the backside. A quick ball into Robinson from 3, and he hits. Battle has it now for the Nittany Lions at the top, defended by Zach Irvin. Hands it off to Foster at the very top of the key. Gives it back to Battle, looking for Banks on the right side. Banks drives inside, met by Zach Irvin. Puts up a shot, no good. Zach Irvin now out on the break, bringing it up the court. Right side switches over to his left hand, dishes it to Marr in the corner for three. No good. Rebound by Taylor for Penn State. Foster brings it up for Penn State now. 13:53 remaining in the first half. Nittany Lions lead 11-9. Foster goes to the left side, hands it to Reeves, who plays it down low to Taylor, guarded by Zach Irvin, and a blocking offensive foul called on, I believe, Foster?
I think so.
Michigan will get possession. And just after that foul is called, actually Peyton Banks will check out for the Nittany Lions, and Shep Gardner will check back in. Michigan inbounds it. Dockage takes it up the court. That pressure is gone from Penn State after that Duncan Robinson three. Hands it to Zach Irvin on the left side outside the three-point line. Marr has it at the top of the key, tries to find a cutting Duncan Robinson, can't find him. Gives it to Robinson, who cuts back out for three. Wide open, and he hits it!
Third three of the game. He's 3 for 4.
Penn State cannot cover him. He does a little head fake and creates some separation and hits home the three. Michigan takes the lead 12-11, 13:20 remaining in the first half. Reeves has it on the left side, dishes it down low to Taylor, and just a lack of communication between the Wolverines on a switch. Taylor was left wide open underneath the basket and hits the little bunny layup. Dockage now brings it up for the Wolverines. Left side to Zach Irvin outside the three-point line. Marr at the top of the key, guarded by Foster. Holds it still, gives it to Duncan Robinson, way out to the three-point line, drives in. Puts up another shot from deep, and he airballs it. He got a little cocky there, and maybe a heat check from way outside, and he misses it. Rebound by Penn State. They bring it up. Taylor has it. Now Reeves on the right side. Puts up a three after a pick by Taylor. Banks off the back iron, and a big board by Ricky Doyle, who outlets it to Marr. Slows up, though, after a quick run. Finds some space, though. Tries to drive it. Kicks it back out to Dockage to reset up the offense. 20 on the shot clock. Duncan Robinson receives it on the right side. Drives baseline. Kicks it to Zach Irvin, who hits from three.
All right, Michigan's feeling it now. That's, our fourth or fifth three-pointer in the first 7 minutes of the game.
And timeout is called by Penn State as Michigan has surged into the lead 15-13. The Wolverines take the lead with 12:23 remaining in the first half. And you're right, Stein, the Wolverines are on a tear from three. Now, Robinson missed that one recently there when he shot from three about 4 or 5 feet from outside the arc. Obviously, we thought a heat check, but he had hit 3 threes prior to that. And then on the following possession, Duncan Robinson feeds it to Zach Irvin in the corner and hits a great three-pointer there to give the Wolverines a lead by 2.
And that's the penetration that I'm assuming Beeline talked about. So the guard would drive in, and then that left a guy open in the corner for a three-pointer.
Yeah, and the Nittany Lions defensively looked very good at the start, obviously. Held Michigan to 0 points for a few minutes there. But once Duncan Robinson tried to find space for himself outside the three-point line, I mean, let's be honest, it wasn't always the pass, the assist that was getting it. It was a one head fake shot, and the Nittany Lions know how good he is at hitting those threes. So they're leaving their feet too early, fakes the shot, puts up a second one, and it's good.
And I think that's what Illinois did well a couple days ago. They put their defender all over Duncan Robinson, like didn't let him get a clean shot off at all. And I'm not seeing that here from the Nittany Lions. I see Duncan Robinson getting a pass, and then some Penn State defender is going up trying to block the shot. But that's not how you shouldn't defend Duncan Robinson like that, because then he just takes one dribble to the left or right and then knocks down a three. And when he's that wide open, he makes it most of the time.
Yeah, you're right, Stein. The Michigan Wolverines are very solid from three. Everyone knows that about Beeline teams, and they haven't defended it well so far. As a team, they're 5 for 9 from outside the three-point line, and shooting 5 for 12 on the game. So you do the math, right? All the points for the Wolverines are off threes. 15 points.
Not one field goal was from inside the arc.
And they've only taken 3 shots because from inside the arc, as you mentioned, because they've been finding everything out wide. At the start, they couldn't find shots. They were getting turnovers. Derek Welton unsuccessfully driving in the lane. But now the Nittany Lions are leaving them wide open for 3. They had that token midcourt pressure we saw that was beat easily by passing it around. Beeline coached them well to know not to dribble through the press and pass it out, find Duncan Robinson for 3, and they've continued to find that open space. So now the two teams take the court.
Aubrey Dawkins checked in.
As well as Moritz Wagner for the Wolverines. So the lineup for the Wolverines is Moritz Wagner, Dockage, Aubrey Dawkins, Zach Irvin, and Duncan Robinson. And Garner brings it up for the Nittany Lions, 12-18 remaining in the first half, defended by Dockich. Finds Zemgulis out on the left side, gives it to Banks. Back to Jack down low. Given to Zemgulis down low, who travels when he's working on Duncan Robinson. Ball to Michigan. Zach Irvin will inbound it to Dockich, who brings it up the court. That pressure is completely gone by the Nittany Lions, and he is picked up at half by Garner. Dumps it to Zach Irvin on the left side, who gives it back to Dockich, trying to find a cutting Duncan Robinson. Gives it back to Zach Irvin instead, who pulls up from 3 and hits it. Wow. There's the Zach Irvin we've been waiting for this year.
I've not seen that in a while.
So it's 18-13 as the Wolverines have all 6 buckets off threes. Banks has it at the top for the Nittany Lions, defended by Aubrey Dawkins. Drives in the lane, puts up a left-handed layup, no good, and the board is received by Wagner, who gives it to Irvin, who runs up the right side, finds some lane, goes in on the right side and is blocked by Donovan Jack of the Nittany Lions, who hits it out of bounds. Irvin thought he had some room and did until he was met by Jack down low. Zach Irvin will inbound it now. Trying to find Dockich, can't. No one open, so he heaves it long to Dockich, who collects it, 23 on the shot clock. Irvin receives it back on the right side, drives in the lane, but kicks it back to Dockich, who sets up a new play for the offense. Irvin receives on the left side to Dawkins, outside the left wing. Moritz Wagner comes over for a screen, looks for a roll, but instead Dawkins takes it to the lane, puts up a layup. It's blocked, but called goaltending.
Good drive by Aubrey Dawkins. That's good penetration there. He just beat his man and got to the basket.
Yeah, and a good screen by Wagner, who then kind of boxed out the lane for Dawkins to come in and put up a shot, and an easy goaltending call to make. 10:59 remaining in the first half. Michigan leads 20-13. Dickerson now with the ball on the left. He takes it to the middle, trying to find someone at the top of the key, guarded by Wagner. Gives it down low to Jack on the right side, working on Irvin, puts up a shot, and it is good. Straight in. He's a little taller than Zach Irvin and able to shoot right over him down low. Dockich brings it up for the Wolverines, slows at the block M, goes to the right side, fakes, spins back, finds Duncan Robinson cutting. He was wide open but didn't pass it, swings around the three-point line. Dockich receives it again, dribbles in the lane, going to the left side, finds Wagner down low, works on his man, puts up a right-hand layup, and good.
Good post move by Moritz Wagner. Dockich found him after he drove in and got double-teamed. That's what Beeline's looking for.
And Garner now has it at the top of the key for the Nittany Lions. Gives it to Banks on the right side. Back to Gardner now, who's moved over to the right side, defended by Dockich. And Wagner comes out on a hedge, pushes him out to half. Dickerson receives it in low, guarded by Wagner, 7 on the shot clock, working down low, trying to spin, pivot, right-hand layup, no good. Rebound by Duncan Robinson, strong board. Zach Irvin is out on the break on the left side, slows it up, finds some room in the lane, drives down low, can't find anyone, finds Dawkins now open in the corner for 3, and it's good!
There we go.
Aubrey Dawkins with a big three-pointer, and the Wolverines are finding that room in the corner, as you mentioned earlier, Stein. Dockich is getting the crowd going.
Crowd's getting into it.
The Wolverine faithful rising to their feet as they now lead 25-15. Gardner has the ball at the top of the key, slows down, works to the right side, step back, pulls up for 3, no good. Rebound by Dawkins. Gives it to Zach Irvin, who runs up the court on the right side, pulls up for 3 right away, and it's good!
Holy smokes. Yeah, Penn State has to call a timeout after that one.
Zach Irvin is on fire, and so are the Wolverines, as they lead 28-15 with 9 minutes remaining in the first half. And Stein, has Penn State not talked about defending the three-point shot?
I don't know what they're talking about their timeouts, but we are 10 for 18 on overall field goals, and 8 of those are three-pointers.
8 for 12 from 3 as well, it should be mentioned, and Penn State is only 1 for 4. They tried to answer after one of Dawkins' threes from outside when Gardner tried to pull up and missed.
Yeah, all of Chrysler's getting into it.
Who wouldn't be right now? A great turn of events for the Wolverines as they were down early 6-0 and then got out to beat about 4-12, and Penn State's only scored 3. 3 points since the last media timeout, while the Wolverines have gone on an absolute tear. Lights out from 3. And it's not just Duncan Robinson, who we always expect, but it's Zach Irvin getting in on the action.
Derek Walton is back in for the Wolverines.
And Garner brings it up for Penn State, defended by Andrew Dockich on the left side. Feeds it down low to Taylor. Dawkins works on him. Taylor goes up with a right-handed layup, and it rims out, but big board by Jack down low. Now a scrum for it. And Dockich fights for it and wins.
Wow.
Gives it out to Derek Walton, and the Michigan Wolverines set up an offense. Slows it down. Hands it off to Dockich on the left side. Left side then goes to Dawkins. Walton receives it at the top. Trying to search for Duncan Robinson on a cut. Finds him outside the three-point line, and they leave Wagner wide open. Dish down low to him and an
There's
easily.
the open big man down low.
A great
That's what we're looking
move
for.
in combination by Robinson and Wagner, and they find an easy layup. 30-15 now to the Wolverines. 8:10 remaining in the first half. Taylor has it at the top for the Nittany Lions, slightly to the left side of the three-point line. Gardner receives it, kicks it to Reeves in the corner, who dishes it down low to Taylor. Mismatch. Walton is on him down low. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Goes up strong with it and hits it. A little defensive switch up that couldn't get fixed. Walton had Taylor, and Taylor is able to hit it off the backboard and in. 30-17, 7:42 remaining in the first half. Dockich finds Dawkins in the corner, who gives it back to Dockich outside the three-point line. Swings it to Walton. Walton finds Dawkins in the corner, and it's good! Dawkins hits another.
It looked like Penn State went into some kind of a zone and it was leaving guys open in the corner. I don't know if they should go back to that anymore because we are on fire from three-point range.
It's a 1-3-1 zone the Nittany Lions went into, and Dawkins found that space open in the left corner again. Penn State now sets up an offense. Taylor has the ball at the top, guarded by Walton again, who's spin cycle and is fouled by Walton on the drive. So Coach Chambers and the Nittany Lions decided to switch up the defense and go to the 1-3-1. However, obviously unsuccessful. Stein, what do you think this time they have to do? Because obviously nothing he's doing is defending this three-point game that Michigan is playing.
And this is the art of basketball. I think obviously is doing so well from three-point range that they need to maybe stay on their man and not let them get open threes. The downside of that is that Michigan could see that they're being played tight on the three-point arc, and then dump it down low and get some easy twos. And so I honestly don't know what Coach Chambers is going to come up with because Michigan is shooting lights out from three-point land.
Yeah, 33-17 now with 7 first half as we're at the under 8 timeout. The Wolverines are shooting 9 for 13 from 3, 1 for 4. They're feeding it. The Nittany Lions are feeding it down low to Taylor often. He has a Penn State mismatch and have Derek Walton on him, who he's low and get a couple layups. But is there, at this point, down 16, is there a new style of offense that they have to go to get back into this game? Do you want to see the Nittany Lions taking more shots from outside the three-point line, as they've only taken 4 so far?
I think as of right now, Michigan's playing good enough defense that they're not getting great looks at three-point shots, but if they can, they definitely need to take them because they're down, 16 points. But what seems to be working against our Michigan's defense is that Brandon Taylor is a big man going against, sometimes being matched up against a guard, and he can make good post moves and get good 2-point layups. But I don't know if that will be enough to catch up to all of Michigan's threes. So I think we'll just have to see.
Yeah, and the other aspect in which the Wolverines have improved since the last timeout is rebounding. Michigan now leads the Nittany Lions 10-9 on the glass, and I think part of it is because Penn State's feeding it down low and missing a lot of these.
Right.
So now Taylor goes to the line for the Nittany Lions to shoot 2. Puts up the first. So 33-18 with 7:06 remaining in the first half. Receives the ball to attempt the second shot. Puts it up, and it's good as well. Now, the Nittany Lions are 6 for 6 from the line, so maybe that's something they need to do. Attack the basket and get fouled. Derek Walton brings it up for the Wolverines. He's met by Reeves. Hands it to Wagner, who checks out at the top, and flips it to Irvin, who mishandles it for a moment but collects. Wagner receives it back, hands it to Walton at the top of the key, drives into the lane, finds Dawkins on the left side after driving, and it's defended by Reeves, who pokes out a pass that was intended for Derek Walton. Michigan will retain possession, 12 on the shot clock.
So now we have Derek Walton and Marr back into the game for the guards. Let's see if we can get some penetration.
Alongside of Dawkins, Irvin, and Wagner is the 5 on the court for the Wolverines. And Marr finds some open space down low, drives, right hand, good, and the foul.
It's a good drive by Marr. And he got the and one call.
Now, it was just a lack of communication by Penn State on defense, because I think even Marr was surprised he had the ball in the middle of the key with that much space. Wolverines passed it around, and obviously a lack of communication or a bad switch by the Nittany Lions. Marr gets the easy bucket, and he'll go to the line to shoot for a 3-point play. Puts up the shot, and it's good. And Mark Donnell has now checked in for Moritz Wagner, as he is the big man on the court. Garner brings it up the left side for the Nittany Lions. Moves to the right, a hedge by Mark Donnell. Garner drives hard off it, in the lane, right-hand layup, good.
I think that's what they need to do. They beat the screen and got the layup.
Derek Walton brings it up for the Wolverines. Moves to the right side, finds Donnell at the top of the key. Passes it to Irvin on the right side. Hands it off to Dawkins at the top. Dawkins drives, left-hand layup off the glass, and it's good. Easy lane for the Wolverines as of recent. Gardner brings it up for the Nittany Lions, goes to the left side, met by Walton. A cutting Reeves into the lane, kicks it out to the right. And it is Zemgulis who receives it on the right, drives into the lane, and an easy bucket, kind of uncontested, a little taller than Dawkins, and puts it in off the drive. Walton now brings it up for the Wolverines, hands it to Mark Donnell at the top of the key, who passes it out to Irvin, across to Dawkins, across to Walton, now on the left side outside the three-point line. Dawkins receives it at the top, gives it back to Walton on the left side outside the three-point line. Screen from Mark Donnell, dribbles over to the middle of the key, finds Irvin back on the left side. Irvin cuts in, finds Walton at the top, who puts up a three, and it's good. Derek Walton hits from deep.
We are now 9 for 13 from three-point land, shooting 69%.
Gardner now brings it up the left side for the Nittany Lions. 41-23 Wolverines, 5:16 remaining in the first half. Banks drives for the Nittany Lions, no good. Gets his own rebound down low, puts it back up, no good as well. Walton swats it out to Garner, who puts up a three, no good as well. Ball bouncing around, and eventually the refs call out of bounds as the ball was on the ground and players were scrummaging for it. Out of bounds on the Wolverines. Nittany Lions will get the ball down low.
Now Duncan Robinson comes in for Aubrey Dawkins.
5:02 remaining in the first half. The Wolverines lead 41-23. Taylor will inbound it. He finds Gardner at the top of the key on the right side, gives it back to Taylor, who comes up to the top of the key, puts up a long two, no good. Rebound by Zach Irvin. Not the greatest shot in the world. Zach Irvin brings it up the right side, switches over to the left, goes to the left lane, drives in, puts up a two, no good. Rebound by Taylor. Taylor goes on the run and now slows it up. 4:43 remaining in the first half. Gives it off to Gardner, who drives in the right side, goes up with the lane. In the lane, puts up a layup, no good. Duncan Robinson on the easy board. Walton now with it, quick on the right side for the Wolverines. Into the paint, trying to find someone down low. And three in the key is called on Derek Walton, I believe.
I think it was Mark Donnell.
Oh, Mark Donnell sitting in the key, you're right. And that's a turnover for the Wolverines. Penn State will take over possession. Garner now brings it up on the left side for the Nittany Lions. Defended by Derek Walton. A little hedge by Mark Donnell. Garner cuts into the lane. Finds an open Zemgulis, who shoots from three, and it's good. The Nittany Lions needed something like that. 41-26 now, a 15-point lead for the Wolverines. 4:07 remaining in the first half. Walton brings it up the right side. Fakes a pass to Duncan Robinson, but now hands it off to Donnell at the top. Donnell swings it to Duncan Robinson on the right side, who has it now at the block M. Gives it over to Zach Irvin, who gives it to Marr on the left side. Garner works on him. 12 on the shot clock. Screened by Mark Donnell. Marr moves in on the right side, gets into the lane, finds some space, and puts it in off the glass.
It's a good move by Marr.
Found some space in the lane, was patient enough, and get a shot up. Garner now brings it up the court for the Nittany Lions. Derek Walton on him. A screen by Zemgulis, hedged by Donnell. On the right side now, Taylor receives it at the top of the key. Drives into the lane, shot, no good. Zach Irvin on the break for the Wolverines. Stops at the three-point line, gives it to Walton, give it back to Zach Irvin, who puts up a long three, no good. Tip by Robinson, also no good. Taylor collects, hands it to Garner, up the right side for the Nittany Lions. 3:10 remaining in the first half, 43-26 Wolverines. Garner with it, hands it to Taylor in the corner on the right side, working on Robinson, and he's called for traveling after a jab step. Timeout on the court. We're at the under 4. The Wolverines lead with 3:02, 43-26. Now, what's happened since the last timeout that has just kind of cemented this double-digit lead for the Wolverines, now up to 17, a couple?
Well, the Nittany Lions and the Wolverines have, in my opinion, have kind of just traded off points since the last timeout. What I've seen from the Nittany Lions is Shep Gardner. That guy can move in the lane. Once he beats a man, he can get to the rim. Unfortunately, they were to finish the layup, but that guy can. And when we try to guard him down low, he can just get to the three-point. Where I think it was Zemgulis who hit a three. They're not totally falling away, climbing back up to Michigan's 43 points because they're us to hit threes and get two down low. Mars good, post move down low, kept us going.
The Wolverines, though, are still hitting those threes. I believe Irvin on the right side, 10 for 15 from 3 for the Wolverines. Obviously, that's 66% from deep. Nittany Lions are shooting 33% and have only hit 2 of 6. They're not taking as many threes, obviously. They're working it down low. Taylor receiving end of a lot of dishes down low, and he's going up with them. He has 10 points for the Nittany score at 26. As of Reese getting open, look to do. They've had success attacking the basket down low. Now, I'm saying success, but success in their regard, in the sense that they're not overall having a great game, but it's the only way they're finding points. Maybe it needs to go down to Taylor more often for a kick outside to someone to pop a three.
Yeah, and I've noticed that I haven't seen number 32, Dickerson, down low in a while, so I don't know whether he's not in foul trouble or anything. Maybe coach just wants him to sit out, but he's another big man that can go down low and then kick it out to see if they can get some points.
It's possible that Coach Chambers was a little disappointed in his rebounding performance. Now, normally Michigan, as we've watched all season, generally loses the rebounding battle. They just do. That's the style they are. Their guards get more rebounds than their big men, and that's not to discredit the big men all the time. Often they're making box moves so that the guards get it. Trail 13-14 on the glass. And there was a period in which Dickerson was in, and the Wolverines took the boards. Now, as I mentioned that, Moore checks in as the big man for the Nittany Lions, matching up with Donnell. Derek Walton brings it up the court and hands it off to Duncan Robinson, who swings it across to Irvin on the left side, guarded by Reeves from the three-point line. Finds Donnell down low on a great cut, right-handed layup, and good. 45-26 Wolverines, 2:40 remaining in the first half. Gardner brings it up for the Nittany Lions, defended by Walton. Moves to the right side, hands it to Reeves outside the three-point line. Switch, so Walton's on him now. Gardner now receives that on the left side, defended by Robinson. Moore checks at the top of the key, hands it off to Reeves, who drives into the lane and is stolen by Derek Walton, who moves on the break up the court and slips and falls. Gives the ball off to Reeves as Reeves collects it for Penn State, and he break. 2:18 remaining in the first half. The foul is called on Marr, who slowed up Reeves on the fast break once Derek Walton slipped and turned it over. Nittany Lions found it at midcourt as only 5 fouls on the Wolverines this half, so they're not in the bonus yet. And Foster has it just inside the block M for the Nittany Lions. He gives it to Zemgulis on the left side. Zemgulis hands it to Reeves, who's at the top of the key, defended by Derek Walton. Holds it, 17 on the shot clock. Hedged by Mark Donnell. Finds a Zemgulis on the left wing with a long pass, who shot fake and then puts up a real one. No good. Board by Foster, who kicks it out to Garner, who then puts up a three, and it rims out barely. Penn State had 2 good looks from 3 and missed them both. Michigan now brings it up. Marr has it on the left side, gives it over to Walton on the right side of the block M. 20 on the shot clock, trying to look for Robinson in the corner. Hands it off to him on the wing. Robinson dribbles across to the left, and a quick hand check foul called on Reeves, a cheap one. The way the game of college basketball is going now, a lot more of those fouls are called. So Michigan will inbound it, as that's only the Nittany Lions' 4th foul of the game. 1:35 remaining in the first half, 45-26 Wolverines. Irvin inbounds it to Derek Walton, who has it on the right side. New shot clock for the Wolverines. Robinson now on the right side, hands it back to Walton. Walton at the top of the key. Dishes it to Marr in the corner. Marr cuts into the lane, gives it to Walton outside the 3-point line, who's on the left side now, driving into the lane. Loses his handle down low and dribbles it out of bounds. Moore came over for the Nittany Lions and got in his face and kind of slowed up Derek Walton.
Derek Walton has a couple too many turnovers than I think John Beilein likes.
Yeah, Gardner now brings it up for the Nittany Lions. You're right. Walton has at least 3 or 4 turnovers. We've seen in a couple in the last 2 minutes or so. Banks now receives it on the left side. Feeds it to Taylor down low. Double teamed by Robinson and Irvin. Still puts up a shot. No good. It's blocked, I think, by Donnell, who came over. Collects his own rebound, though, and puts up another right-hand hook, and this time it's good.
I think that's why he's the leading scorer for Penn State, because he can make those good post moves down low.
Yeah, double teamed at first by Irvin and Robinson. Put up a shot that wasn't that great, but then got his rebound and put up another good. Michigan sets up in the offense. Irvin feeds it down low to Donnell. Easy layup. And a lost defense for Penn State right now. 30 seconds remaining in the half, and I think Coach Chambers just wants to get into the break. An absolute miscommunication on defense there, as an easy single pass down low to Donnell works. Garner with it on the left side, killing time. 10 on the shot clock. Donnell on the big hedge. Feeds it down low now to Moore. Loses the handle. 12 on the shot clock. And Robinson steals it away. Crosses the midcourt for Michigan. Feeds Donnell down low. Cutting. Easy 2. Good. 4 on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Taylor puts up a long shot. No good. The Wolverines lead 49-28 at the end of the first half. Stein, what do the Nittany Lions have to do if they even want to make this game close in the second half?
I honestly have no idea, because Michigan is 10 for 15 from three-point line. That's 67%. And then when they guard the 3 at the arc, they find Mark Donnell down low, and that guy is showing us what he did against Illinois and making those nice layups down low. So I have no idea what they have to do.
You're right. Donnell has 6 points now, and that easy layup at the end after Moore lost the handle on the one end with 12 seconds left. Duncan Robinson finds it, runs up the court, and right away finds a great cutting Mark Donnell down low. The Wolverines are getting it done in every facet of this game. They're even on the boards. They're shooting lights out from 3. They're 9 from 14 from 2. Obviously, they're 66% overall, while the Nittany Lions are only 10. You're right. We'll see what Coach Chambers talks to his team about, but they're down 21 at the half, 49-28. We'll catch you back up in the second half. Thank you, and see you again. Hello and welcome back to CBN Sports broadcast of Michigan men's basketball. Today we are live at Chrysler Arena matchup. We're at halftime and have about a minute left until the second half gets underway. The Wolverines lead 49-28. They are on fire from outside point line. Robinson in on the Irvin. Stein, what did you like most out of the Wolverines in the first half? For right now, Stein, what do we want to see out of the Nittany Lions who are taking this in Taylor, Banks, Garner, and Reeve in it?
Basket by Josh Reeves. Penn State foul on number 23, Josh Reed. That's his second team first. At the line on shoot two for your Wolverines is number 21, Zach Irvin.
And we're trying to get connection back now. We're back on. Sorry about that. In the start of the second half, we have 18 minutes remaining in the second half. The Wolverines lead 52-30. Zach Irvin just hit a foul shot from the line, and the Nittany Lions will bring it up the court. Dickerson now has it on the left side for the Nittany Lions. Steal attempt by Irvin. Taylor dribbles down low, loses the handle, and the Wolverines will take care of the ball. 17:49 remaining in the second half. Wolverines still lead 43-30. Walton has it, hands it to Marr on the left side. Irvin receives it about midcourt. Walton gets it now on the right side, just outside the three-point line. At the top of the key. Dribbles, gives it to Donnell, who comes up. And now Robinson on the right side. Swings it over to a backdoor pass to Irvin, who kicks it left, but intercepted by Reeves. The Nittany Lions now take over possession. 17:25 remaining. A dish down low to Taylor, who is fouled hard by Mark Donnell. Taylor will go to the line, and he is perfect tonight.
Penn State done better. That's his second team first. At the line on shoot two for Penn State is number 10, Brandon Taylor.
Taylor hits the first of the two free throws. Now up to 13 points on the day for him. Looks to his coach for a second. Puts up a second. It's good. The Wolverines are receiving direction from Coach Beeline, and there is a full court press now on by the Penn State Nittany Lions. Michigan breaks it easy. Zach Irvin has the ball in the lane. Dishes to Nell, who loses the handles, and Penn State recovers. Reeves now brings it up for the Nittany Lions, drives in the lane, puts up a one-handed floater, no good. Walton gets it. On the break, passes it up long, tipped away though, and Taylor now has it for the Nittany Lions, going fast the other way. Gardner now has it, kicks it to Taylor, who is trailing for three, no good. Rebound by Marr. Wolverines retain possession. Zach Irvin goes fast on the left side, finally slows it up, and the transition basketball slows down. Walton now collects. Gives it to Duncan Robinson outside on the right wing. He dribbles over to the left side, hands it off to Zach Irvin. He pulls up for three. It's good. Zach Irvin is 4 for 5 from three today. Garner now has it on the left side for the Nittany Lions, defended by Derek Walton. Passes it to Reeves on the left wing, defended by Duncan Robinson, who gives it to Banks at the top, who puts up a three off the iron, no good. Derek Walton collects and dribbles it up the court. 56-32, Michigan Wolverines. Marr receives it in the left wing, creates some space for himself, passes it to Donnell, who gives it back to Marr, who hits an open three. The Wolverines are continuing their assault from outside the arc. Gardner now brings it up for Penn State, slows down the offense, gives it to Reeves on the right wing, hedged by Donnell. And it's stripped by Robinson on a Reeves drive. Robinson retains possession. Gives it to Walton in the backcourt. Now he's on the left side. Dribbles it up. Hands it to Irvin on the wing, who drives into the lane. Finds Donnell down low. Puts up an easy two. It's good. 61-32. The Michigan Wolverines lead the Nittany Lions by 29 with 15:30 remaining in the second half. Gardner has it at the M, defended by Walton. A screen by Reeves. Gardner still has it, moves left, drives into the lane. Robinson on him. Floater, no good. And a follow-up is put in by Reeves. Michigan now has possession. Marr with the ball on the right side for the Wolverines, just outside the three-point line. Mark Donnell at the top of the key with it. Passes it back over to Duncan Robinson, who dribbles left outside the arc, hands it to Derek Walton once he gets to the left wing. Derek Walton now takes it back to the right side, swings it back to Robinson, who finds some space, drives in, dishes it to Mark Donnell, who puts it up and in off the glass. The penetration into the lane and the dish down low is successful for the Wolverines. Gardner now brings it up, passes it to Banks on the left side. Banks is guarded by Marr. Gives it to Garner on the right. Passes it down low to Jack, working on Donnell. Tries to dish it out to Garner, switches it to Taylor. Taylor working on Walton, puts up a tough 2 over Walton after Walton hit the floor. They're looking for a charge, but no call made, and Taylor banks it in off the back iron. 63-36, Wolverines, 14-10 remaining in the game. Walton brings it up slowly for the Wolverines, gives it to Duncan Robinson in the corner, who gets it back to Walton, who then passes it back to Robinson, who moves out a little and gives it to Marr in the deep corner, who swings it to Robinson to Walton. Now to Irvin on the left, working just outside the three-point line. Only 5 on the shot clock. Irvin's way outside the three-point line. A pick by Donnell. Irvin pulls up from 3, no good. But Donnell chases down the rebound, puts it up, and is fouls. No good, but a great rebound from Donnell late in the shot clock. And that is a timeout on the court, the under-16 timeout. The Wolverines lead 63-36 over the Nittany Lions, and a couple of threes going down early here in the second half.
I don't know what else did a good shot. Robinson's driving in, dumping it off to Mark Donnell. Michigan's getting those good looks down low that we saw at Illinois, but Penn State has to find some kind of defense to stop Michigan's attack.
Yeah, right now not anything is really working for the Nittany Lions. The Wolverines have come out in this half and put up 6.5 or 6:15 into the second half. 13 points already, 14 points already.
It appears like Penn State's dominating the rebound points for the start of the second half, but Michigan has just been knocking down their shots, and so Penn State doesn't have a chance to get back at the 63 points that Michigan has. This could end up being another high 90, 100-point game for Michigan against non-conference.
And I don't think that's really what we expected at all. We watched Penn State really come out strong on the road at a top 5 Maryland team. And then, yes, of course, at the end, most of us watched it because who wouldn't chime in to see a little Penn State knock off Maryland on the road? But down the stretch, they couldn't hit a 3. They couldn't get King at all. Blew that game away. But regardless, for what, 38, 37 minutes of that game, they looked on fire and looked like a great team to
And it was really fight just because Maryland was only 2% point land. What Penn State did during that game, but they shut down Maryland from defensively, and we have not seen that at all today against Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan's just been making their shots.
And we're at a similar point in three-point shots attempted by the Wolverines to Maryland that last game. The Wolverines have now 19 three-point shots, and they've made 12 of them. The defense by the Nittany Lions at the perimeter is nowhere close to where it was against Maryland. On the court for the Wolverines is Donnell, Duncan Robinson, Zach Irvin, Derek Walton, and Marr. Puts up a second, and it's good. The Wolverines lead 65-36 with 13:43 remaining in the game. Gardner has it on the left side, just passing the block M at the moment. Gives it to Dickerson, who comes now working on him, trying to look on anyone, and Garner pops back out to the top. Now on the right side, gives it back to Dickerson, who floats down low and slams it home. A little mismatch. Donnell got switched off a hedge, and Dickerson was open. 7-1 Dickerson open down low, only defended by guards. Now Michigan brings it up. Derek Walton on the ball, gives it left to Zach Irvin, who loses the handle, and it goes out of bounds. Penn State will get possession.
There's been too many turnovers in the first part of the second half for Michigan. It's not Beeline's way of offense. So now we have Garner bringing it up for the Wolverines. Passes it off to Dickerson, guarded by Mark Donnell.
Dickerson still has it. Hands it off to Garner. Garner now on the left side, 14 remaining on the shot clock. Hands it off to Taylor. Garner now open from 3, pump fake though, switches it across to Foster. And newly checked in Washington drives into the lane late in the shot clock, puts up a shot, no good, but he's fouled.
Michigan foul on 22 Duncan Robinson.
That's the first foul on Duncan Robinson, and the 7th overall for the whole game. Sorry, 7th for the whole game, 2nd for this half for Michigan, and that's one of John Beilein's what he's known for is the lack of fouls in a whole game.
Isaiah Washington, who just checked in and got fouled there, the redshirt freshman, 6'3", hits his first free throw for the Nittany Lions. 65-39 to the Wolverines, 12:44 remaining in the second half.
Aubrey Dawkins and Andrew Dockich just checked in for Michigan.
Washington will step to the line, take a second, collects the ball, puts it up. It's good. Nittany Lions are 100% from the foul line. If they can just keep getting fouled, maybe that's a way for them to score some points.
Could be.
65-40 here, 12:30 remaining in the game. Dockich receives it up midcourt after breaking a little press, gives it to Robinson, who attempts a quick 3, no good. Penn State out on the break, and as well dishing it quick to Washington, who attempts a quick 3, no good. Now Dockich on the break, up for the Wolverines, finds a trailing Zach Irvin, who's at the top of the key, slows it down. Now Dawkins with it on the left side. Back to Irvin at the top of the key, who gives it to Robinson on the right wing. Robinson, after a switch, defensively puts up a deep 3, and it just rims out. Penn State on the board. Foster will bring it up for the Nittany Lions, drives into the lane. Goes up strong with it on Dockich, and he's called for the charge. Andrew Dockich draws the charge in the lane after Foster thought he would go up with a little floater bunny, and obviously called off. 11:57 remaining here in the game. We're at a media timeout as the Wolverines lead the Nittany Lions 65-40.
That's the first offensive charge I've seen from a small guard in a while. Usually it's a big man like Mark Donnell or Ricky Doyle that I've seen in the past year and a half. But this time it was Andrew Dockich, and I think he's known for that, getting those offensive charges. Known for that as he hasn't played many games, but I remember he's usually the one to get an offensive charge when he comes in.
Yeah, you're right. After Beeline decided to burn the red shirt on him, which we know dates back to the Spike Albrecht's career-ending injury and decision to take the rest of the season off, Dockich burned his red shirt, and he's seen a decent amount of minutes early on in this year, and now in Big Ten play, obviously. He has at least 10 minutes in this game and is making somewhat of a difference.
That's true, and as I was talking about before, the charges from the little guy, Spike was always the one to get down low and get a charge, and that's what fired up the crowd. But yeah, Andrew Dockich, he hasn't put up a point yet. I'm still waiting to see at least a shot attempt from Andrew Dockich.
I think the score's in a position where eventually Dockich will muster up the confidence to attempt one or two. You know he always does.
Here's a question. Do you think Sean Lonergan will touch turf today?
Now, that's a good question. Early in those kind of cupcake games we like to talk about, after those like Big Ten ACC Challenge and preseason tournaments, we had a span of like Delaware States and Bryant's that the Wolverines were playing. Surprisingly, Lonergan did not get in those games when he definitely could have. The Wolverines were putting up 100 or so points. Now, I wouldn't be absolutely shocked to see him, given the Wolverines are up 25 with still 12 minutes left to play. But I think more likely is a little rotation of the big men. But he likes to get all those big men experience, and in a game where there is definitely some, I think it's a great.
Jay Wilson, I see, is dressed game, so maybe we can see a couple minutes out of him, and maybe a couple minutes out of Cam Chapman as
like Cam Chapman also seen minimal minutes this year, but I think a lot of Michigan faithful amount of points. And we're back underway here at Chrysler. Dawkins has the ball by a 2-3 zone, it looks like, for the Nittany Lions. Dockich has the ball on the right, gives it to Dawkins on the right wing, gives it back to Dockich at the top. And Irvin now receives it on the left side, swings back to Dockich, back to Dawkins on the right. Just moving it. 2-3 is coming outside and highly contested. A long three airballed and a very good defensive stand for the Nittany Lions, something we haven't seen too much of so far.
And maybe that's what the coach for Penn State is telling them to do, to switch it up to a 2-3 defensive zone.
And normally there is room on the wings for threes, but right now Duncan Robinson is in the Wolverines, so probably a good Nittany Lions have it inside with the ball. Gives it to Foster deep in the corner, and a hand-in possible foul on Dawkins there as he played Foster rather tight deep in the corner. And it looks like Walton and now Robinson will check in for Dockich and Zach Irvin. I think Beeline responding to that 2-3 defense.
Some shooters out on the wing.
Definitely. Foster now going to inbound it for the Nittany Lions. 11:15 remaining in the game. 65-40 is Garner has it. A hedge by Wagner out top. Pulls up a long two. Garner no good. Rebound. Marr, and he's going fast for the Wolverines up the right wing. Dribbles into the lane. Brings it back out, though. Screen by Wagner at the top. Swings it to Robinson on the right side, who drives into the lane and is stopped and met by two Nittany Lion defenders, but the ball goes out of bounds, and it's given to Michigan. Must have been deflected down low.
I think so.
19 remaining on the shot clock. Robinson will inbound it from underneath the basket. Looking for a guard. Tries to throw it in, and it's deflected by Dickerson, the 7-1 forward who's guarding him down low, giving him a tough time down there to inbound it. Do a take two as Robinson tries once again to inbound it. Dickerson jumping up and down, finds Marr quickly down low. Layup no good. Good movement by Marr to get open, but couldn't finish as Dickerson slided over and got a hand in his face right away. Gardner now has it on the left side for the Nittany Lions, just inside midcourt. Gives it to Washington, dribbles across to the middle. Swings it back to Gardner, who's now on the left wing, defended by Marr. 14 on the shot clock. Gives it to Dickerson, who cut it to the top. Wagner on him, moving to the right lane. Hands it off to Washington, who cuts into the middle of the lane, puts up a shot. No good, but he's fouled on the drive. And it looks like Wagner is responsible for that reach-in before he really got it on the basket.
And that's only the first foul on Moritz Wagner, and he is immediately coming out. I think that's Beeline's system, rotating the three big men, Wagner, Donnell, and Doyle, through he doesn't like them getting fouled.
And Penn State will go back to the line. Washington there. So far perfect from the foul line. A 11-11 for now as Washington hits the first. 65-41 Wolverines, 10:27 remaining. And as Stein predicted, Wagner comes right out, subbed by Mark Donnell, who takes his position down low. Washington will put up the shot, and finally a miss from the foul stripe as Washington misses the second. Walton collects.
That's their first missed free throw of the game.
Gives to Marr, and Dawkins receives it just inside midcourt. Walton now gets it back. 2-3 zone is still there. Dawkins receives it on the left wing, back to Walton. Dribbles over to the right side, flips it to Robinson at the top of the key. Gives it back to Walton, deep outside on the right wing. Screened by Donnell, trying to get past him, try to find room in the lane. Does on the left side, but slips. And a push-off foul called on, I believe, Walton?
On Derek Walton.
Derek Walton, as he was driving into the lane, kind of lost his footing, and I suppose the ref saw it as a push-off with his right arm as he drove into the left lane. That, I believe, is his first foul, team fifth for the half. Exactly 10 minutes remain in the game. 65-41. Penn State will bring up the ball. Gardner moves over just over half court. Met casually by Walton. Gardner moves it over to the left side. That's Zemgulis. Gives it back to Gardner on the right side. Immediately down to Taylor, who goes up with a quick two. No good. Dickerson there, 7-1. Easy rebound and easy slam home.
Easy rebound, easy slam. Hard to defend that.
Yeah, Donnell wasn't really there boxing him out. Grabbed it easily and in an instant goes up and slams it home.
Michigan has not scored a field goal in the last 4 minutes. So let's see if they can do something here.
Still that 2-3 zone from Coach Chambers. Working out now. 13 on the shot clock and ball hasn't been penetrated yet. Swinging back and forth across the arc. Walton now has it on the right wing. Tries to drive in, a little separation. Marr drives into the lane, baseline. And as the shot clock is expiring and he's lost under the basket, puts up a reverse layup. Good.
Something I would do in like 3rd grade, just kind of like throw it over the head.
Exactly. It was not pretty, but it went in. And that's a highlight reel for him. Penn State brings it up. Dickerson has it in the low post. Gives it to Foster, who fakes a 3 on the left side. Gives it to Zemgulis. Over to Taylor now, down low in the left post. Puts up a bunny right-hand hook. It's good, deep in the shot clock. 65-45, the Wolverines lead by 22 with 8:30 remaining in the game. Now Penn State has gotten out of the 2-3 for a moment for the pressure, but now back into it as they approach the 3-point line. Marr with the ball at the top, gives it to Walton on the right side, who's met by Taylor. Gives it down low to Robinson, who's working on Dickerson. Tries to throw it out to Marr, collects it at the 3-point line. 5 on the shot clock. Double dribble fake, goes into the lane, puts up a floater, and he's fouled on the shot. Shot was no good, but good job by Marr to find himself in the lane, a little space deep in the shot clock.
It was a good drive by Marr. Michigan's kind of getting low in the shot clock, forcing them to drive in, and Marr has shown that he can do so, get to the rim and get a foul called.
Yeah, not as many 3-point attempts by the Wolverine this half, getting into the lane. Now their shooting percentage is down a bit, down to 61%, which is obviously still high for the game. But it's a lot of these little layups that they're getting fouled on here. So they are 5 for 6 now from the line as Marr missed the first free throw. He will attempt the second. 8:12 remaining in the game. Puts it up. It's good. The Wolverines are now 6 for 7 from the line. The score is 45 to the Wolverines. Foster brings it up for the Nittany Lions. Hands it off to Zemgulis. Zemgulis gives it over to Reeves. Now Foster in the right corner. Gives it to Taylor in the high post. It gives it to Zemgulis. Now swung over to the left side to Reeves on the left wing. Finds Zemgulis in the corner. Foster receives it at the top, still outside the 3-point line. Zemgulis from the left wing puts up a deep 3 and airballs it long. Ball goes out of bounds to Michigan, and that's the under-8 timeout on the court. The Wolverines lead 68-45, a 23 commanding lead for the Wolverines. Under-8 Stein. Do you think John Beilein will go to his bench soon?
I think he will, but it'll be after the next TV timeout. John Beilein always seems to leave in his starters or his like 6th or 7th players off the bench, and he leaves them in. I'd give it around. I'm gonna say 3:08 is when the first quote unquote bench player will come in.
What have you seen I say as of recent, the last time out or so, in which we saw Penn State go from man-to-man to a 2-3 zone? Has this been successful and something they need to go back to?
If I was Penn State, I'd stay with 2-3 because I don't think Michigan has successfully hit a 3 when the 2-3 is pretty much designed to not let penetration into the paint and let the team kick out for a 3. So I definitely keep the 2-3 zones. Michigan has shown that they can hit the. If I'm Michigan, I'd get Duncan Robinson or Zach Irvin out on the wing to knock down a 3.
Yeah, both of them having relatively good days. Zach Irvin is 4 for 6 from 3, something that we haven't seen all year. And you mentioned it at the half while we were having some technical difficulties, but Zach Irvin has been really slow to get his season going, I would say. This
he did have
year.
that injury in I think it was late August and he didn't. I don't think he played for at least the game, but he has slowly worked his way, getting more minutes. I don't think he started the first game he was back, but now he's starting consistently, and when our star player can step up to the plate and do his job.
Yeah, and we saw in the game prior to this, and I would say 2 or 3 is before that, His shooting from outside, I don't want to say atrocious, but it was not pretty from deep. And kind of generated a different aspect in which he faked the three and would drive in the lane and got a lot. He was good at that, but this game, he's found his shot, 4 for 6 from three, and is leading the team in points with 16. The Wolverines and the Nittany allow 7:45 remaining in the game. They are met by a full court press the Nittany Lions are putting on. Marr will inbound it. Moore will guard him on the inbound. 6'10" Moore trying to block the inbound pass. Walton receives it. He's met by 2 men working with Marr. They try to pass out of it, still in their own end. Walton receives it, and he dribbles across into the lane quickly, finds Zach Irvin, who slows up the offense, and Walton will take the ball at the top. They break the press with great success there. Robinson on the right wing with it. Switches it to Zach Irvin on the left, who drives into the right side, just into the lane, switches it to Donnell in the middle, who is fouled on putting up a layup. No good, but a good move by Zach Irvin into the lane to find a cutting Donnell down low.
Just a little miscommunication by Penn State. I think they needed to realize a little earlier on to defend the pick and roll from a driving guard to the big man a little better, because that's one of the main things Michigan has done well in this game.
You're right, and Donnell will now go to the line to shoot his first. Off the front iron, no good. Gardner now has checked into the game for the Nittany Lions. Zemgulis checks out. Donnell receives the ball to shoot a second. Puts it up. Also no good. No points there for the Wolverines after a nice offensive possession. Gardner brings it up the left side for the Nittany Lions, defended by Derek Walton. 7:14 remaining in the game, 68-45. Reeves has it in the left wing, defended by Robinson. Tries to give it down low to Taylor. Taylor working on Zach Irvin. He's double-teamed by Duncan Robinson. Dribbles out of it, though. Finds Gardner on the right wing. Drives in, kicks it out to Reeves in the left wing. Misses a three-point shot. Moore goes up for the rebound. And it looked like he deflected it out of bounds. The ref initially calls Penn State ball, but then the second ref comes over, corrects the first referee. Ball will go to Michigan. Marr will inbound it for the Wolverines. Now the full court pressure is kind of tailored off a little bit, kind of weak, more of a 3-4-2. A very high pressure, but not full court.
Now they're dropping back into the 2-3.
Derek Walton now has it on the right side. Donnell receives it at the top of the key, met by Foster. Zach Irvin gives it off to Derek Walton, who gives it to the right wing to Marr. Finds a cutting Zach Irvin in the lane, who receives it. Working on Moore, puts up, a fake shot. Goes down low to Donnell. Looked like a pure jumper, but then a direct pass to Donnell, who is down low and puts in a nice layup. Great communication between those two on most recent possessions. Cutting in the lane by Zach Irvin and then finding Donnell down low. Taylor now has it down low in the right post for the Nittany Lions, trying to kick it across. Foster has it at the top of the key, drives in on the left side, puts a left-handed layup high off the glass, and good.
That was impressive.
Foster good from the left paint. 5:55 remaining in the game, 70-47 to the Wolverines. 2-3 zone still in play. Marr has it, gives it to Robinson on the right wing, who dribbles across to the left side. Zach Irvin on the left wing now, gives it to Walton. Passing it around the outside are the Wolverines, draining the shot clock and just really draining the game here. 8 on the shot clock and a hand check foul called on Reeves. Number 21, Washington will check in for Reeves after the foul, and the Wolverines will inbound it from the left side. Marr has the ball. Searching for his guard, finds Derek Walton just outside the three-point line, dribbles around the left side, cuts to the middle, puts up a long three, and it's good. Late in the shot clock, Derek Walton running around in circles, really, and just puts up a 3 knowing the shot clock is down and hits it. Derek Walton with 6 points on the day, hitting 2 3-pointers for the Wolverines, has 2 assists and 5 rebounds. Moore receives it in the low post for the Nittany Lions. Moves around to the middle of the lane, puts a left-handed hook up, no good. Donnell corrals the rebound, hands it off to Walton. And the Michigan faithful giving their team a big round of applause as they can tell this game is in hand and slowing down. Walton crosses midcourt, Slow to dribble, not really setting up the offense, draining the clock, dishes it to Robinson on the right wing. He dribbles back across to the middle, gives it to Zach Irvin on the left side. To Walton in the left. Back to Robinson in the corner, puts up a fake three, another fake. Finds Donnell in the lane and good with 2 remaining on the shot clock. A double 3-point fake from Duncan Robinson leaves Donnell wide open in the middle. Passes it to him down low and a bunny shot for Donnell falls. 16 now for Donnell. 7 for 7 today for him.
Wow. Also with 6 rebounds.
A second great game in a row for him. Penn State sets up the offense. Garner dishes it quickly to Washington, wide open in the corner for 3, and he hits it. A little too late action. As
that's their third three-pointer of the game. They're 3 for 15 now.
75-50 as the Wolverines lead the Nittany Lions here at home. 4 minutes remaining in the game. Irvin has the ball on the left wing, gives it to Walton just outside the 3-point line. To Robinson on the right side. Donnell puts up a long 2, fading away. That's his first miss of the game. Garner collects for Penn State, goes quick up the right wing, and a blocking foul is called on Derek Walton. Garner will go to the line to shoot 2 after the under 4 media timeout. 3:44 remains in this game. The Wolverines lead the Nittany Lions 75-50. This game has been in check for the Wolverines just about since 5 minutes into the game or so, once the Wolverines found their groove from outside the arc. Sign is rest the Big Ten season. The Wolverines take a quick 2-0 start to the season as long as nothing miraculous happens in the remainder of this game. What do you expect out of this team for the rest of the season? Are they a tournament team?
I think they are. They didn't lose anybody except for Max Bielfeldt from last season. So they have a lot of guys with a lot of experience. The seniors, I mean, with Harris out and Spike out, I don't know how long Irvin and Derek Walton have all been to the elite team. There's guys that can score. Presence up with double-digit numbers down low, which is awesome. I don't know whether that's because of a lack of defense from, I guess you could call it the lower Big Dayton. I think we'll see a true Michigan team when they play Maryland coming up in a few days. But as of right now, if Michigan can keep up this high shot percentage, they're definitely a tournament team.
I don't disagree with you. I think it's a little early to tell. But I think part of it's going to depend on how it goes. You mentioned it. Arena W's call again for that one. Obviously, Karis LeVert that game for the Wolverines to have success and up what he's been doing in these 2 Big Ten games. Double-digit points, had a career-high night against Illinois on the road, and today has 16. He just missed his first shot a couple moments ago. Board, Irvin has stepped up, and if all 3 of these guys, Zach Irvin, Mark Donnell, or at least one of the big men, and Karis LeVert are on, I think this Michigan team is better than we saw them play against Xavier and SMU early in the season.
Team that has shown themselves to be good when are out or not playing as well.
And we are back live on the court. Garner is going to the line to shoot 2 for the Nittany Lions. 3:44 remains in the game. Puts up the first, and it's good. The Nittany Lions are 12 for 13 from the line tonight. Garner collects the ball, spins it, puts up his second, and it rims out. Donnell on the easy rebound. Gives it to Derek Walton, who will bring it up the court for the Wolverines. A light pressure by Penn State, but I think they know this game is just about over. Derek Walton has it on the right wing, gives it to Donnell. Walton receives it back, swings it to Dawkins on the left side. Ball moving around outside the 3-point line for the Wolverines. 10 on the shot clock now. Walton at the top. Robinson fakes a long 3, dishes it down low to Donnell on the right post. Gives it to Dawkins, to Robinson. 3 on the shot clock, 2 on the shot clock. Kicks deep to Walton. A long 3 off the back iron, but rebound.
Almost got his own rebound.
And he fights for it with Foster, I believe, who hit the ground, and a jump ball called. Ball will go to the Wolverines. The Michigan faithful are giving their team a huge round of applause for the hustle there and draining of the clock. And the ball will stay in their possession as Zach Irvin will inbound it from just inside midcourt. 75-51, Wolverines over the Nittany Lions. 3:07 remains in the game.
My guess at 3:08 was wrong.
Yeah, Beeline has not gone to his bench yet and isn't looking there. Walton just slows down the game, dribbling out by the block M. No real pressure on him. Hands to Dawkins on the left wing. He dribbles it across to the middle and dishes it to Zach Irvin. Zach Irvin drives in the lane, dishes it low to Mark Donnell, who is swatted away by Taylor. Receives his own block, though. 6 on the shot clock for Irvin, who kicks it to Donnell. Donnell has to put up a long 3, and it goes a little too long. Miss. Caught quickly by Foster, who's up the left side, and instantly drives, puts up a shot, and a foul is called. Now a follow-up was put in by Washington. The refs wave it off, though. Foster will go to the line to shoot 2 after the Donnell missed 3.
Did they call goaltending on that one?
No, it was just a missed 2.
Okay.
And Foster will go shoot 2 from the line. 2:34 remaining in this game. A couple Michigan fans going home early, maybe to catch some of the bowl games that are on. This one definitely in check.
We had a good bowl win yesterday. Michigan did.
The Wolverines took care of the Florida Gators handily, 41-7. Everyone looked good for the Wolverines. I know I was sitting at home and cheering on. We want Bama. Obviously a little unrealistic, but kind of an uncompetitive game for the Wolverines as they really dominated.
Especially in the second half.
Foster missed the first but hit the second. And as Stein predicted, a couple bench players checking in for the Wolverines. DJ Wilson checks in. Wow. Dockich checks in, and Chapman checks in for the Wolverines. So the 5 on the court are Dockich, Walton, Dawkins, DJ Wilson down low.
There's Cam Chapman.
And as you mentioned, Cam Chapman out on the right wing. Dockich brings it up the court, 2:30 remaining in this one. 1-3-1 comes out for the Nittany Lions. Washington at the top defending Walton. Dockich receives it on the right side, dribbles in a little, swings it back over to Walton. He gives it to Dawkins on the left, fakes up a 3, gives it back to Walton, who gives it back to Dawkins in the corner, hits the 3. It's good. 78-53, 2:07 remaining in this one. Everyone is hitting 3s today. These zones Penn State is putting out is just leaving room for Michigan to attempt some 3s, and they're really cashing in.
Aubrey Dawkins is 3 for 3 from 3-point range.
Penn State brought it up, and a pass deflected away by Dockich. Washington will inbound it for the Nittany Lions. Just under 2 minutes remaining. Foster receives it out at the block M, sets up an offense for the team. Zemgulis sets a screen. Foster doesn't take it, gives it to Washington now on the left wing. Feeds it to Taylor, defended by Chapman down low. 5 on the shot clock, kicks it out to Foster, who's open for 3. That is not a pretty one.
Nowhere
off
near.
The backboard. Dockich slows it down. 1:35 remains in the game. Dawkins receives it on the left wing from Dockich, gives it back to Dockich, a 2-3 zone now for the Nittany Lions. Dockich feeds it into Chapman, who traveled after receiving a pass in the lane. Chapman comes in for a moment, it's already made a mistake. A couple groans from the fans, but of course, not too much damage on this game. Foster brings it up for the Nittany Lions on the right side. Switches over to the left, met by a hedge by DJ Wilson, drives into the lane, tries to find more.
Good
passes
D by Dockich.
Great play by Dockich, intercepts it quickly up the court. Alley-oops it to Dawkins, and missed opportunity.
I think Aubrey Dawkins' head touched the top of the backboard.
Got up, but the pass was not perfectly in place for him. Penn State corrals it. Just under a minute to go here at Chrysler. 75-53, the Wolverines lead the Nittany Lions. Nittany Lions swinging around to the right side. Washington finds himself open in the corner and hits a 3. 78-56 now. 45 seconds remain in this one. Dockich has it at the block M. Slows down the offense. Looks like Moritzwager was going to check in. Beeline tells him to go sit back down as this game is just about over. 30 seconds remain. Michigan swings it around outside the 3-point line. Dawkins now with it on the left side. Dockich at the top, swings it back to Dawkins, who gives it to Cam Chapman. Chapman drives baseline, dishes to DJ Wilson. With 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock, goes up and gets fouled.
Good ball movement by Cam Chapman, Andrew Dockich, giving it to DJ Wilson.
DJ Wilson will go to the line to try to get his first points of the new year. 23 seconds remain in the shot on the game clock. Wilson puts it up and hits the first, and he has some points for the 2016 portion of this season. 79-56, the Wolverines lead by 23 here at Chrysler. Puts up his second, no good. Rebound by Taylor for Penn State. Gives it to Foster. They're not really going fast. Moritz Wagner checked to the scores table to get put in again, and he goes and sets backs down. And he's joking around with Beeline. 10 seconds remain. Penn State still has an offense going. Taylor puts up a deep three, no good. Rebound by Dawkins. He will hold it for the remaining 4 seconds. The Michigan faithful rise to their feet as their Wolverines defeat the Penn State Nittany Lions 79-56 in the home opener of the Big Ten season. The Wolverines improve to 2-0 in Big Ten play, while the Nittany Lions fall to 0-2. Now, Stein, obviously the Wolverines got it done from outside the arc, but who made you most happy in this wonderful 23-point victory for the Wolverines?
For this past season, I've been, I don't know if disappointed is the right word, but Zach Irvin has just not he has not lived up to his full potential this whole season. And today he has shown that without the presence of Karis LeVert, our leading scorer, rebounder, and assister, he can step up to the plate and get 16 points, 4 from 6 from three-point land, a couple rebounds, and 7 assists. And that's huge there they are on the court right now. Zach Irvin and Mark Donnell probably getting to talk for players of the game or something.
A great performance by the Wolverines. They shoot 59% from the field, 14 for 25 from 3, while the Nittany Lions only shot 35% this game, not even able to put up 60. Michigan will take on Penn State on Purdue on Thursday, and then will return home for a matchup against Maryland on the following Tuesday. 2 tough games for the Wolverines. Obviously need Mark Donnell, Zach Irvin, and Karis LeVert back to play well and get some quality wins in the Big Ten season, but a solid first game at home here.
Great game.
For WCBN Sports, this is Matthew Cox alongside my helper today, Stein Hausner, who did a pretty good job in his first appearance for the station. We say thank you, a good afternoon, and a go blue.